Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Haley and you're watching Between the Pages. We are here to review The Sins on Their Bones by Laura Samotin, and I adored this book. We'll get into it, but I adored this book. It is so good. Definitely one of my favorites of the year. So to start off with, in the beginning of the book, we meet Vasily, Dmitri, and Alexei. Alexei is the current Tsar of Novosvitsevo. It's hard to pronounce. They're all like Russian names. And then you have Vasily, who is Dmitri's spy master, and Dmitri was the former Tsar of Novosvitsevo. I'm going to pronounce that wrong every single time, just warning you. So, yeah. In the beginning, like, Dmitri and Vasily and, like, his court are basically, like, exiled, and Alexei is ruling the country. So, yeah. So there's a lot of bastards of the former Tsar, Abram, I think was his name. And so, Alexei, one of Dimitri's half-brothers looks a lot like him, so Alexei takes a liking to him and basically, like, is using him as a stand-in for Dmitri, which is not a good thing because Alexei is very verbally and physically abusive to his partners, and so that kind of broke my heart a little bit. But Dmitri and Vasily are oblivious idiots in love. Like, you can tell that they are utterly devoted to each other, but, like, Dmitri is still getting over being in an abusive relationship. And so it's also tinged with a lot of sadness, and it's, like, bittersweet because you want them to be together, but, like, Dimitri's not ready to deal with that because he's still grieving the loss of his relationship with Alexei and everything that happened in that relationship, and dealing with the fact that, you know, he was being abused and, like, overcoming that and everything. But I adore Vasily and Dmitri. They're the yearning. If you like men who yearn, this book for you. Because, oh my lord. So they end up doing a spell that, like, magically binds them so they can talk to each other in dreams. And they mention that every time they wake up, like, it feels like something has been ripped away from them violently, and they just, like, start sobbing. So if you like yearning, this book is for you. I did see some reviews saying that the spice was unnecessary and, like, it kind of overtook the plot. I don't feel like it overtook the plot. A book that overtakes the plot is definitely Braving the Storm by Elliot Rose. I have not reviewed that book, and I'm not going to review it. If you want to know my thoughts on that, you can go check out my Tumblr, but I'm not going to discuss it here on my YouTube channel. But yeah, the spice is not erotic in any way, shape, or form, because a lot of it is characters being sexually assaulted, basically. And so it wasn't erotic at all. I mean, like, some of Vasily and Dimitri's scenes, like, at the beginning, like, Dmitri is like, I want you to hurt me, because that's what Alexei did when they were together. By the end, Dmitri actually knows how to, like, accept, like, a soft, gentle touch from Vasily. But yeah, I don't feel like the spice overtook the plot, but that's just my opinion. I know people put this on, like, a 4 or a 5. I put it on a 3 because, again, there's no erotic language used at all. It's not like ACOTAR or Beast of the Briar. So just know that going in. Vasily gives me Azriel vibes. If Azriel is your boy, like, if he's your bat boy, you're gonna like Vasily. I guarantee you. Because I love Vasily and I love Azriel. So you like Azriel, Vasily's your guy. And then also, the library that they go and visit is bigger on the inside. It's basically a TARDIS. Because they go to this library because they want to know how to kill Alexei, because Alexei is immortal due to some dark magic. He calls it the holy science. It's basically black magic and necromancy and everything. And then also he has, like, a voice talking to him, and he keeps saying it's God. It's not God, it's a demon, which, is anybody surprised? You shouldn't be. But Yeah, the library is bigger on the inside because they mentioned that it's really small from the outside, but like they open the doors and it's like this massive library. And I was like, yeah, it's like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. And then, like I said, that Alexei thinks God is talking to him. It's a demon. I kind of had a hard time with this book, which I kind of figured I would because I grew up being Southern Baptist when I was a child. And so some of the things that Alexei did really annoyed me because he kind of like took scripture and like turned and like twisted it into something that it wasn't, which annoys me the most about modern day religions. But like I didn't mind with like Dimitri or his court said like the Lord our God, because it's like you can tell that they're saying it with like reverence and adoration and, you know, treating it with the weight that it deserves, whereas Alexei's just throwing it around and using scripture and things to justify the horrible things he is doing to people. And I don't like that. It's the one thing I have issue with in modern day religion. And then also there's this toast that they do every time like they're gonna go do something dangerous, and it's if I die first, I'll tell you the secrets of heaven. And like I understand what that means now, because at the end, Alexei ends up killing Dimitri. Spoiler alert. Vasily ends up bringing him back as like a spirit, and then they put his spirit back into his own body, kind of like necromancy, but who knows? It's not. I mean, it is basically necromancy, but they call it the holy science again. And it's called like righteous resurrection, I think is what they call it. So it's different from what Alexei did, because you have to sacrifice someone to an angel of death. And like if you're doing it for righteous reasons, then it grants your wish. So there's a lot of lore, and religion is very heavily involved in this book. So keep that in mind. And then at the very end, you learn Alexei's not dead, because they had to end up breaking part of Dimitri's bone off. It was the most gross scene I think I've ever read. Well, no, there's some scenes in The Wolf and the Crown of Blood I wish I could unread also. But they end up breaking off part of his bone because it has the name of God written on it. And they file it down to like a sharp object, and they end up jamming it into Alexei's neck because he has to die. Only the name of God in his mouth will kill him. So he was dead, but Morozov, who is his general, and he turned him into a Zamoni, which is a demon of some kind, ends up bringing him back to life. So we got to deal with that in book 2. I don't know when I'm going to get book 2, but I will be, because I really, really loved this book. So yeah, that was my review, and I guess I will see you guys later.